Balance and Mobility, June 9th. We are going to get started finding a comfortable seat. Maybe sit up on a blanket or rolled up towel or a little pillow. Find a comfortable seated position. You can cross your legs if that feels good. Sitting up nice and tall with a straight spine, shoulders down and away from your ears. You can rest your hands in your lap with the palms facing up. And then go ahead and close your eyes and begin to tap into your breathing. Take a little scan of your body here. Getting present on your mat. We are going to prepare for our 4-count breathing. We have a couple late arrivals, so a minute just to everyone here before we start breathing. So for our 4-count breathing, we'll start by exhaling out our mouth and then inhale through your nose for the count of 4. Pause at the top for 1 count, and then exhale through your nose, count of 4, pause at the bottom. So we're gonna all start together. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause at the bottom. Again, inhale through your nose, 2, 3, 4, pause for 1. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and continue at your own rhythm, growing nice and tall through your spine on each inhale. And on your exhale, feel your shoulders draw down, hips ground down. Feel your lungs expand on each inhale. Allow your belly to release all the air on each exhale. We'll do one more round of breathing wherever you are. And when you're ready, we'll meet at the bottom of your exhale and can open your eyes and reach your arms up towards the ceiling on a deep inhale. And then on your exhale, bring your right arm down to rest on the mat, and we'll continue to reach that left arm up and over to the right for a little side bend. You can gaze up towards the ceiling and really lean over to the right, get deeper into the side. Your legs can be crossed here. Inhale back up, and we'll switch right arm up, left hand down. Reach your right arm all the way up, and then continue to reach it all the way to the left. Creating a side bend, opening up the right side. Gaze up towards the ceiling. And then inhale back down, arms come down. We'll extend our legs out to a V. So V shape, nice wide legs, and then begin to walk your fingertips forward into a forward fold. Arms come straight out, palms flat on the ground. And your legs are out in a V. You can flex your feet. So the wider the legs, the better, deeper stretch. And then just fall forward into a forward fold. Drop your head down, Breathe here into your hamstrings, inner thighs. Good, and then walk your hands all the way to the right, and we'll continue to do a right fold onto the right ankle or shin or foot. The legs are still at a V, and you're just bending over the right leg. And if you can clasp onto some part of that right leg, allowing yourself to fold over and breathing into the right hamstring. And then walk your hands over to the left and hold on to your left ankle, shin, or foot, bowing over your left thigh. Good, and then inhale back up and bring your feet together. And then with your legs extended in front of you, we're gonna bend the right foot, right knee. Foot comes flat on the ground. We're preparing for a little twist here. So right knee is bent, foot flat on the ground, left leg extends in front of you. We're gonna take the left elbow, wrap it around the front of that right knee and twist to the right. Take your right hand behind you for some leverage to help you get deeper into the twist. So you're hugging that knee to get leverage to twist to the right. Flex through your left foot. Sit up nice and tall. Think about a string pulling your crown of your head towards the ceiling. On each inhale, your spine grows longer towards the ceiling, and on your exhale, deepen your twist towards the back right. Inhale, slowly come back forward, and we'll switch out our legs. Right leg straight, left knee bends. Hook the right elbow or forearm around the front of the left knee. We're going to twist to the left. Bring your left hand behind you. Flex through your right foot. Spine nice and tall as you inhale, grow long, and exhale, twist to the left. Good. Inhale back to center. And we'll make our way onto our hands and knees, tabletop position. So from tabletop, your hands are flat underneath your shoulders, fingers nice and wide, knees underneath your hips, and we'll just rotate our hips from left to right. Roll our hips out, do some circles. Good, and then from here we're going to do bird dog. So come back to tabletop. We'll start with the right leg. So begin by extending your right leg behind you, point through the toes, find your balance, and then when you're ready, extend the opposite left arm forward. So your opposite arm and leg are reaching opposite directions. Left arm reaches forward, right leg back, balancing on your left knee and right hand. Continue to reach, gaze down. And then inhale back to tabletop. And opposite side, so stretch your left leg behind you, point through your toes, and then reach your right arm forward. Reach through your right fingertips, extending your arm forward. Your leg and your arm are parallel, hovering off the ground. Breathe here for a few more breaths. Good, and then come back to tabletop. And from here, we're actually not going to spend too much more time on our hands and knees. We're going to come to our side. We're going to do some work on our sides today. So let's start with the right side. So go ahead and lay down so that you can be on your left side and, sorry, I said right side. Right side, you can take your hand, your right hand, and kind of rest your head in your right hand so that your right elbow is bent. And we're going to do some leg lifts by laying on our right side. So in this case, our left leg is on top. We're just going to lift that left leg up towards the ceiling and back down. You can rest your head in your right hand, or you just put your head all the way down on your shoulder, whatever feels good. And we'll do 10 to 15 leg lifts here, bringing the leg up and down, working the outer glute. And then once you've done enough reps with that, we're going to bend our knees and do, I like to call these the clamshells. So you'll bend your knees, so now your knees are still stacked on top of one another. And your ankles, your feet are going to stay together, and you're just going to now lift the top knee up, left knee comes up and back down. A little clamshell action. The knees are bent and you're just lifting the left knee up and down as the feet and ankles stay together. Good. Let's see if you can do another 10 to 15 on this side. I also am using my left arm to kind of stabilize me here. So I have my left hand resting on the ground, the mat, and I'm just kind of using that to keep my stability, if that helps. Some of you are already doing that. Okay, so those both are working your outer glute. I'm sure you're feeling that. Once you're done with the clams, bring your legs back out straight and then rest that top left leg a little further out to the side so that it's kind of out of the way now. And then the bottom right leg is what we're going to be using now to lift up and down, sort of like a leg lift, but you're using that bottom leg. And this is going to require strength on your inner thigh. So you should feel this, your inner right thigh, the bottom leg is going to lift up and down, and the top leg is just resting out to the side. Maybe you can even bend it if that helps. Keep that top leg just resting, keep the foot down, and just the bottom leg, in this case your right leg, is moving up and down. Probably not a very big motion. And the top leg is still resting on the ground. It's just kind of out of the way. So it's the top leg is not resting on the other leg. It's just resting on the ground. And then lifting and lowering that bottom leg. You're going to feel it in the inner thigh. Okay, when you're done, do about 10 to 15 of those inner thigh rolls, and then we're going to roll over to our left side and do it all over again. So now we'll start out with the regular leg lifts on our left side. Rest your head in your hand if that feels good. And now your right leg is on top, so you're just going to lift and lower the right leg up and down, up and down. Feet tap at the bottom. You can use that top right hand and place it on the mat somewhere to help stabilize you as you lift and lower your leg. Resting on our left side. Do about 10 to 15, matching both, even out both sides, and then from here we'll move into the clamshell. So for this one, we're going to bend our knees stack on top. You'll keep your ankles together and just lift the top knee up and down. For clamshells on this other side, still working the outer right glute. Do about 10 to 15 of these clamshells. And then our final one will be our inner thigh of our bottom left leg. So you'll take the top leg, bring it out to the side and just rest the foot down, and then lift and lower the bottom left leg using the strength of your inner left thigh. This one probably feels a little awkward. So some of you are resting the top leg behind you. I recommend that you bring it over and rest it more in front of you. So it kind of has to swing over the top of the bottom leg to rest on the ground. Yeah. Good job, everyone. This one is burning. Okay, so if you've done 10 or 15 of all those three, roll over onto your stomach. When you're ready, we're going to come into Sphinx pose. Sphinx pose. It's hard to say. So for Sphinx pose, you're resting on your forearms. Your elbows are directly under your shoulders. Forearms, palms flat on the ground. Palms are, or hands are parallel, or arms, forearms are parallel to one another. Your legs are together behind you, and you're pressing up so that your chest is off the mat, and you're kind of leaning into your forearms, stretching out our lower back. Good, I can see Bob and I can see Sherry, and you're both doing that. Perfect, so good job. Can't see the rest of you, so. Few more breaths here, and then when you're ready, you'll lower down and just rest your head on top of your hands and just allow your low back to decompress. And one other low back pose we're going to do today, more of an exercise. We're doing the super person, superhuman, superwoman, superman pose. So for this one, you recall, ideally you'll be able to lift your arms and your legs simultaneously as you gaze down. Arms come up, legs come up. If that's not available to you, then just try lifting your legs or lifting your arms. And you'll hold that for a few breaths and then lower back down to rest. Now this is a pretty intense pose. You might only be able to hold it for a brief moment. That's okay. Come back up if you can. Try again. If you can, hold it as long as you can. Breathing. Arms are reaching forward, legs reach back. As your arms extend forward, the hands face one another. Using the strength of your back to stay lifted as you fly away. And then slowly lower back down when you're ready, resting your head one more time on your stacked palms. Nice job, everyone. And then from here, let's come all the way back to tabletop. Slowly make your way. We'll just wag our hips again one more time, easing back into this pose before we come to standing, and then slowly make your way all the way up to standing. And today we're actually going to be trying something new. Well, some of you might have done this in my in-person class back in the day. So we're going to revisit our warrior poses. These are all standing poses. And they're great for hip opening, and they require some good focus. And I'm curious, I would love to hear some feedback from you guys after class on how this feels in your body. But for today, we're going to start by coming to a wide stance. Well, we're going to turn right and take a wide stance on our mat. So your feet can come super wide, one foot on the front of the mat, one other foot at the end of the mat. Your feet are parallel. And we're going to do warrior 2 pose to start. So you're going to turn your left foot 90 degrees to the left. So now the heel of that left foot, if you drew a line from the heel towards the right foot, it would intersect the middle of the right foot. That's kind of the placement of that. So now that your left foot is turned 90 degrees to the left, you're going to bend the left knee so that your knee is stacked over the ankle. Usually about 90 degrees. And now your arms are going to come out to a T. So stretch your arms out straight with your palms facing down. So your arms are actually extended in the same sort of plane as your legs. Your arms are parallel to the ground with the palms facing down, and this is warrior 2. So you're in warrior 2, and if you missed a cue or two, that's okay. We'll revisit this again. There's a lot of little repositionings of the feet, but your back leg is straight and your front knee is bent. Your arms are straight out wide, and you want an equal reach in both arms. So notice if you're leaning a little more forward versus back, try to find a center. Your arms reaching opposite directions equally. And from here, we're going to come into reverse warrior. Your legs are going to stay the same, but your arms are going to change. So the back right arm, go ahead and drop it so that it's resting on the back right thigh. So find the back right thigh with your right hand, nice big palm resting on the right hamstring. And then the left hand is going to flip your palm to start, so the palm is facing the ceiling. And now continue to reach your left hand up towards the ceiling and then towards the back now. So you're in a reverse warrior is what it's called. Your legs stay the same as they were before. So the left knee is bent, front knee is bent, back leg is straight, and your left hand is reaching up and over towards the back leg. And you should be feeling a nice stretch in your left side. You can send your gaze down towards the back foot or up towards the ceiling. Good. And then from reverse warrior, we're going to take that top left arm, lean forward towards the front bent foot, front leg, sorry, and take the left forearm and rest it down on the top of the left thigh. So the left forearm is resting on the left thigh. So you have to kind of lean over towards that front leg And then the top right arm is going to reach up towards the ceiling and then over your head. And now it's directed towards the front of the room, kind of in the same direction as that front foot. So if your front left toes are reaching forward, your top right arm is reaching forward as well. You're going to feel a stretch in the whole right side. This is extended side angle. You guys are getting real challenged today. Nice job, everyone. And inhale, slowly press yourself up. Now we get to do this on the other side. So stay where you are. Your legs are out nice and wide. This time, though, you're going to rotate your left foot back forward so that both your feet are now parallel. Now we're going to rotate the back right foot 90 degrees to the right. And we're going to do warrior two to start. So right foot just rotated 90 degrees to the right. You're going to bend the right knee. And now your arms are going to come out wide to a T, palms face down. And you're gazing over the front fingertips. Remember, for warrior two, the back foot is facing forward, the toes are facing forward. I don't know if that's a good description. The back toes, remember, you didn't rotate the back foot. You only rotated the front foot 90 degrees to the right. So the heel of the right foot, if you drew a line, would intersect the midline, mid-arch of the back left foot. So you have your positioning here. You want to press down through the outer edge of the back foot. Arms are reaching in equal opposite direction. Gaze over the right fingertips. This is warrior two. And now from warrior two, we're going to come to reverse warrior. Your legs stay the same. The only thing that changes are the arms. So now the left arm drops down, find the back thigh, place the hand on the back of your left hamstring. Inhale, reach your right arm up towards the ceiling, and then continue to reach up and over towards the back left foot. Palm faces down. Make sure that front knee stays bent. This is extended. This is reverse warrior. Gaze up towards the ceiling or down towards the bottom foot. And from reverse warrior, we're coming into extended side angle. So your legs stay the same, but this time you're going to drop the top arm, rest the right forearm down on the top of the right thigh. You have to shift your hips to lean over to the right. Drop your right forearm to rest on the top of the right thigh, and then lift your left arm up towards the ceiling with the palm facing down. Continue to reach your right arm over as it reaches in the same direction as the front right foot. Nice job, everyone. Wow, I look over thinking everyone's ditched class because it got too complicated, and everyone's still here. Okay, inhale, slowly come up and bring your feet together in front of the mat. You did it. Those were some fancy warrior poses. So next time someone says warrior one, or we didn't do warrior one. Remember, we did warrior two, reverse warrior, and we did extended side angle. We're going to revisit these because they're actually a pretty common pose that you visit in many yoga classes. I want you to speak the language. So take a moment to take some water if you need it. I think a couple of people arrived during the warrior poses, so if you're totally confused, that's okay. You arrived to class late in that sequence. maybe you can re-watch this video because we are recording. So we're all standing on our mat and we're gonna start a couple of our balancing kind of normal leg lift series. So if you want to find the chair or wall, we're gonna start by, well, let's start by just lifting up onto our toes, doing our heel raises. I like doing these to strengthen our calves. So if you need something for balance, you can hold on. Otherwise, we'll just lift up and down. Feet are about hip width distance. And we'll lift and lower about 20 times here. So heel raises. 20 heel raises. And then this is just a little warm up. After heel raises, we'll move into our leg lifts. So we'll start with the right leg, and we're just going to lift our right leg out to the side and down. Both your feet face forward. You can hold on if you need something for balance. Otherwise, we'll just lift and lower the right leg out to the side and down 10 to 15. Try to keep your leg as straight as you can as you do this. Moving slowly so that you're using the strength of your leg to lift and lower versus just swinging it out and letting it fall. You're building strength in the standing leg as well. So once you've done enough on that side, go ahead and switch to the other leg. Left leg lifts, same thing. Keep your torso nice and steady. Notice if you're bobbing your torso from side to side, try to keep your torso steady. Keep your torso upright so the crown of your head is reaching towards the ceiling as you just lift and lower your leg. Don't be too concerned about how high the leg goes. More about keeping the steadiness and keeping your legs straight. Feel the burn. So once you've done those, we're going to switch to some leg lifts that are more for a different part of your glute where you're actually lifting the leg behind you. We haven't done this one too many times. So basically you're just going to take your right leg, point the toes, lift, kind of bring it behind you, and then just lift the right leg behind you up and down. And you want the leg to stay straight as you do this, so it's actually not going to come up very far at all. Because if you bend the knee, that's a whole nother exercise. So the leg stays straight, and you're just tapping the toe down and then lifting it back up. Nice job, everyone. So again, you can do 10, 15 on both sides. Even it out. Nice job. And then once you're done with reverse, I'm going to call this reverse leg lift. Come back to standing, and we're going to do forward leg lifts. Final set of the series. So for forward leg lifts, you're taking the right leg, lifting it forward in front of you, up and down. Leg is straight. Kick through your heel. Balancing on your left leg as you do this. Explore your balance, maybe just holding on slightly with a couple fingers, maybe hovering the hand. Even out both sides. And once you're done with your legs, we'll do some arms. Hopefully you're finishing up. Go ahead, take your time, finish up your leg lifts, and then make your way back to your mat. We're going to do some arm circles. So arms, let's keep extended out to your side, parallel to the ground, palms face down, and we'll just do some backward circles. See if you can make them a little smaller and more quickly versus the big, slow circles. We'll do little rapid circles moving back. Keep your arms nice and stiff as you do this. And then rotate them forward for little mini forward circles. Quick little hummingbird flutters, and then we'll get into some bigger circles. So now let's rotate backward circles again, but this time bigger, a little more action in the shoulders. And then rotate them forward for final circles, nice big forward circles. And then if your wings haven't fallen off yet, you have strong wings. Good job. Allow your arms to drop and take your hands, interlace them behind your low back for a little simple open chest opener. So hands clasped behind you, and then lift your arms, stretch open your chest. So hands clasped behind your low back. And then you're just lifting your arms behind you, press open through your chest. This is a chest opener. Good, and then slowly release, shake out your arms, shake out your wrists. We forgot to address our wrists today. Let's take a moment here, shake out your wrists, and then press your fingertips back to open up the front of your wrists. Do that on both sides. And then flip the palms to stretch the back of the wrist, the front of the wrist, the back of the wrist, whatever that means to you. Just get both sides of the wrist by pressing down on the top of the palm and then the back of the palm. Shake it out, hit your fingers, crack your knuckles. No, I think that's not, I don't know what the deal is with knuckle cracking, but not a yoga thing. Okay, let's roll out our toes and ankles. So go ahead, take your right ankle, roll it out, and just lift up your right heel and kind of keep the balance steady on your right toes as you circulate the right ankle, clockwise and counterclockwise. Roll over onto the front of the right toes, and then we'll do the left ankle, same thing. Good, and then we're going to make our way down onto our back. So go ahead, lower down onto your mat. Laying down on your backs. Prepare for some abdominal work here. Lucky for you, all my abs are already super sore, so we won't be spending too much time on this, but we're going to just start with some simple crunches. So go ahead and bring your knees to bend with the soles of your feet flat on the ground. Hands interlaced behind your head, elbows out wide. I think you know the drill. Lift and lower your head and neck, shoulders up and down, elbows stay wide. And we're just doing some crunches here. I like to keep my hands behind my head for this. We're just lifting and lowering our head, neck, and shoulders up and down for abdominal crunches. Supporting your head and your hands is helpful. Keep less strain on your neck. So everyone has their own level of strength for their abs. Go ahead and do it enough so that you're feeling a nice little burn here, however many that takes. And then you'll take a rest in between this move and the next. So once you're done with the crunches, we're going to place our hands underneath our hips with the palms facing down. You're just going to kind of sit your bum on top of your hands. This is just to kind of lift your lower back slightly on the ground, off the ground. So I'll repeat that one more time. So basically your arms are down alongside you, palms facing down, and then just kind of scoot your hands underneath your hips so that you're resting your hips on the top of your hands. And then raise your legs up towards the ceiling. It's helpful to have your hands propped under your hips for this. It helps with the low back. So that's the only reason why you're doing your hands under your hips. And then your legs are up towards the ceiling, and we're just doing some leg lifts. So we'll start with one leg at a time. The right leg will lower down and then back up. Left leg goes down and back up. So your legs stay up towards the ceiling, and you're just going to bring one leg down and back up one at a time, using the strength of your core to lift and lower your leg. You don't have to bring the leg all the way down to the ground. If that's too much, just lift and lower a few inches. Keep your head resting on the ground. And we'll do this for maybe 10 on each leg if you can. It's a good goal. Remembering to breathe. Nice job, everyone. Working hard. So a few more, whatever you need to finish up your leg lifts. And when you're done, we'll meet with our legs bent, feet flat on the ground, arms out wide to a T for windshield wiper, palms facing up, knees bent, feet nice and wide, and then allow your knees to drop all the way to the left. And then lift your knees and drop them all the way to the right. Your feet are still resting on the ground, and you're just dropping the knees from side to side. Nice gentle twist on your spine. Windshield wiper the knees. Your arms are out wide, a T with the palms facing up. Your shoulders stay flat on the ground. Good, and then bend your knees and hug your knees in towards your chest. Bring yourself a nice hug. Release your hands or clasp your wrists around the front of your shins. Rock from side to side. Massage your low back on the ground. Good, and then from here, we're gonna bend our knees and place the feet flat on the ground one more time for bridge pose. So remember, for bridge, you wanna make sure you're in the proper alignment to start. So to check that, place your hands flat down alongside you and see if you can brush the heels with your fingertips. If your feet are super far away, you're gonna need to scoot your feet or your bum, whatever you need to do, so that you're touching the heels with your fingertips. And you want your feet parallel, about hip width distance. Your head, neck, shoulders stay down on the ground for bridge pose. And the only thing that moves are your hips. So you're gonna lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Press down through the feet, down through your hands. Hips lift up, using the strength of your glutes. Maybe even think about squeezing your inner thighs. And then you can either hold the pose for a more static bridge or lower and lift for a more dynamic pose. So for lifting and lowering, you can match your breath by inhaling, lift up, exhale, lower down, or you can hold bridge for a few breaths. So stretching out your thighs as well, building strength in your glutes and your abs. Wherever you're at, continue to breathe for a few more breaths. And then you'll lower your vertebrae one at a time all the way back to the mat. And allow your left leg to extend down straight on the mat. We'll squeeze the right knee in towards our chest. Hands interlace around the front of the right shin. And we're just squeezing the right knee towards the outside of our right rib cage. Feel a nice restriction in the front of the right hip flexor. Couple breaths here. And then from here, we'll come into our twist by taking the right knee across your body and over to the left. Your right arm comes out to a T with the palm facing the ceiling. The left hand can assist that top knee towards the ground. Turn your head toward your extended right arm. Press down through the right shoulder as your left, let's see. I'm getting confused here because your right shoulder, you want to press down as your top right knee is pressing over to the left. So opposite direction, kind of twisting the spine here. Think about drawing the top knee over and down. So supine twist. A few more breaths. Inhale back to center. Allow that right knee to come straight down. And we'll switch to the left side. So we'll squeeze the left knee in towards our chest. Hands interlaced around the front of the left shin. Squeeze the left knee towards the outside of the left rib cage. Breathe here for a few breaths. Flexing through both feet. Release any tension in your jaw. And then slowly come into supine twist. Take the knee across your body into the right. Left arm extends out, with the palm facing up. Press the left shoulder blade down. The right hand can assist the knee towards the ground. Over to the right. Gaze is over toward your left hand, so your head is turned. Gaze over the left hand. Few breaths here in supine twist. Good, and then slowly come back to center and bring your knees into your chest one more time. Give yourself a hug, rock from side to side. And then take this last moment to just get out all your wiggles, any last movements, stretches. This is freestyle, freeform time. So whatever you want to do, and then make your way slowly into Shavasana, our final relaxation pose. You'll come lying on your back, get comfortable here, taking up as much space as you need on your mat. Allow your legs to fall out to the side, arms out wide, palms face the ceiling. Rest your head on a pillow or blanket. Close your eyes and tapping back into your breath. Deepening each inhale and exhale. Slowing down your breathing. Finding relaxation. Close your eyes and continue to breathe. Enjoy the stillness and the quiet. Noticing any thoughts that come, letting them go, coming back to your breath. And when you're ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Coming back to the room, bend your knees, place your feet flat on the ground, and slowly make your way to one side. Taking as much time as you need to press yourself back up to seated. Find a comfortable seat. Keep your eyes closed, rub your palms together, the center of your chest, cultivating warmth and love, placing them right back on your heart. Inhale through your nose, open mouth, exhale. Thinking of something you're grateful for today. Thank you all for coming and sharing your practice with me. Bringing my palms together in the center of my chest, bowing down, namaste. And a virtual hug for you all.